All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Eastside RAP Meeting. My name is Kai Roldan, if you don't know who I am, and I work for SB Act. I'm the program generalist. Landon Rank is out today, so I'll be subbing in for him. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Wendy Santamaria, City Council member, for coming and being present today. We always appreciate your presence. And we're just going to get started while we wait for city staff. Let's see. Everyone see my screen okay? Great. I don't see anyone saying no. Um, okay, so we just wanted to go over a couple of de-escalation tips if you encounter anybody who may be agitated or experiencing, any sort of emotion that might be disrupting other people, or maybe disrupting themselves. Maybe they're struggling with something internally that's hurting them. Um, if and do not engage with that person if they seem, you know, violent or aggressive or you are feeling unsafe. If it's a non-emergency behavioral health concern, you can call 888-868-1649. I believe that's the Be Well access line. But if someone does, you know, if there is an emergency or if the individual presents a threat to themselves or others, that is a 911 call. We want to make sure that people are safe. Just explain the situation very carefully and don't engage if you are feeling, again, don't engage if you're feeling unsafe. Um, so yeah, just wanted to do a refresher. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? Okay, let's move forward. So we do have our Act on Homelessness all-call meeting on Monday, June 8th at 12 p.m. We don't have a location yet, but this is just kind of our all hands on deck meeting to talk about homelessness in Santa Barbara County. So we hope to see you there. And then a reminder that our next meeting will be Friday, June 12th at 10 a.m. As normally scheduled. Okay, that's it. Okay. I still don't see Carrie. So what we'll do then is let's just open up the meeting. Are there any community members that have questions or concerns right now? No, I'm not seeing anything. Feel free to jump in at any time as we move through. Looks like we're getting a thumbs up from Arturo. Great.
Well, yeah, good morning, everybody. I just want to say that where I have been residing at a little over 11 years now. And when I came in, it was just a nightmare with a lot of the residents, not everybody, uh, just drugs, alcohol, violence, that sort of thing. And it was a nightmare. It really was. A lot of these people are no longer here. But we had an incident about 3 weeks ago or so. A resident next door to me, really nice person, was walking their friend on the other side to their room. And somebody on that side came out, started yelling and screaming at them. And then another resident on that same side came out, got into my neighbor's face, and it just escalated where my neighbor got punched about 5 or 6 times, just around his eyebrow. Had to get 6 stitches, got hit in the mouth. Of course, the police were called. The person that assaulted my neighbor was taken to jail, brought back. It just really escalated, and the thing is, the person that assaulted my neighbor, I met him a few years back when I was homeless. Seemed to be a pretty nice guy, well behaved, but he has a drinking problem. He gets violent, and the lady next door to him, mental issues, health issues, and it's just really interesting how many of these people, manage to get into housing. And I know nowadays, because of the administration up in D.C., cutting back on housing, but I know there are no real answers. How to fix these situations. But for the first time in my 11 years, after all this and management here where I'm living at, they're working on it, on these two individuals, and I just don't know what the answer is when it comes to residing homeless people. I know a lot of homeless people are nice people. Many of them are very well educated. They've had good professional jobs at one time, but those that cause problems out in the streets for whatever reason, and then they get housing, and then they get cause problems in housing. I don't know what the answer is, and I'm sure you guys don't have the answer either.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really sorry to hear that. It's always really hard. Arturo, do you mind repeating where this happened specifically? Erica's asking.
Yeah, yeah, it was under recommendation. Somebody I met at Casa Esperanza when I came
Casa
back to
Esperanza.
Phoenix, Arizona, and he got in here. He has a job, works full time, and yeah, it's the Victoria Hotel on Victoria Street, 24 East Victoria Street, which it's I believe it's a historical building. It was built in 1925, and it survived the 1925 earthquake. Amazing. So yeah, people self-help housing. I think they came in, took over sometime in the early 70s. To house people.
Okay.
But yeah, but from the time that I came in here in April of 2015, yeah, it's just really really bad. And now I'm kind of like in the backside facing the Granada parking garage because I have a restroom here, and it was a problem back out there with the homeless people camping out, yelling and screaming, smoking. But now that's pretty much taken care of.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's no longer a problem, is what you're saying?
No, what people self help housing did is they put a fence on the cement wall. They
Hmm.
put three gates to prevent from people from coming in onto the property for sleeping, drinking, doing drugs, you name it. So, and of course, it took me 2 years, making out reports to management, calling the police. It's finally gotten so much better back here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's doing better. Let me know if you want to touch base with me about any of that at any point. Okay.
Okay, sure. I'll do that. I do believe I have your email. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Sorry for the long story here. I know everybody else has got other things to say, but yeah.
Not a
I
problem.
mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to bring up to the team? Any questions or concerns before we get into encampment response? No? Okay. Let's can we start with CityNet?
Hello, good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we have been just hitting our usual spots. A lot of the hot spots are Yananali, Quarantina, underpasses, Mia Bus. Um, our weekend team is trying to connect with more individuals by going to the Showers of Blessings at the Guadalupe Church on Fridays. We're just trying to increase as much outreach as we can. We are a pretty small team right now. We're very short staffed. So we're trying to do as much as we can. Um, But yeah, definitely Yanonali, Milpas, Cacique, and Quarantina underpasses are our primary hotspots on the east side. So just continuing to connect with those folks and see if any of them are willing to enter shelter. We have a Mercy House beds. We've been completing a lot of referrals for folks. So yeah, just trying to work with people on the streets. And that's all for us.
That's great. Thanks, Alondra. What about Good Samaritan? Do we have anyone on the call? I don't think I see anybody. Okay, we'll move on to can we Megan from Mercy House? Do you have anything for us?
Good morning, everyone. I don't have too much to update on. Just want to thank Alondra and CityNet. We have filled their beds. We've started a wait list for folks, so that's been pretty awesome. I believe we're setting up a meeting to meet with Alondra and the navigators so that we can figure out a plan to make sure that we are all case managing them together. And other than that, I don't have anything else.
That's great. Thanks, Megan.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what else. Um, let's go to Andrew with Code Enforcement.
Thanks, Guy. As far as the east side goes, in terms of code enforcement, much like CityNet, the underpasses and East and Ollie are real focal points for us. Just still seeing a lot of traffic around the rescue mission, dealing with the RV situation. There were some updates to the oversized vehicle ordinance. I'm not sure exactly when we'll be seeing those implemented, but hopefully that'll start to create some movement with those RVs that we see on Quarantina. But aside from that, we just still have a pretty significant population that we're dealing with out there. And, as I understand it, limited on the beds we can provide. Um, Otherwise, for the east side, most things are just kind of on a case by case basis. We start to see the beach become a little bit more popular as the weather improves. I know we've had a little funky storm here, but we do start to see more activity along the waterfront and over further even down towards the Clark Estate, way down on East Beach. But otherwise, as far as Milpas goes, a lot of things are sort of, you may have seen Natasha referencing in the chat. We've had carts abandoned on the 300 block. We're dealing with lots of food vendors along there, which are creating issues in the gutter, different sort of like discharges and washing of things. It's just kind of our unfortunate reality right now. But city administrator's office does have a specific team for those illegal food vendors to address those sort of things. So we're doing our best to try to keep it clean. Hope those teams can do their part, and then also schedule, different power washing services and whatnot as we can, just to keep the area tidy as best possible. So that's just been sort of that's a wrap up of our efforts on the east side, I'd say.
Great. Thanks, Andrew. And Lieutenant Beltran.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Guy. It's pretty similar to Andrew. We hit basically all the same spots realistically. Last couple of weeks, like he mentioned, we've been getting quite a few complaints about East Beach. So we've been kind of focusing some efforts there. And another spot that's not, I guess, a normal focal point for us that we've been getting some reports on is over on Old Coast Highway. There's been some encampments out there that we've been trying to address. And then in reference to the oversized vehicle ordinance, that we should probably be seeing some focus on in the next couple weeks. Once that got approved, we usually give it's like a 30-day period so that everyone kind of can adjust and learn that it's there's some changes that have been made. So we'll probably be focusing on that in a couple weeks since that was just approved. And then one other, I guess, small kind of announcement is June 13th, I'll be rotating out of this spot to a different spot, and Lieutenant Ryan DeJean will be taking my place. So when that happens, I'll make sure everyone has his information, contact information, so that way any issues that can come up, you guys can contact him, and he'll be super responsive. He's great. So that's it on my end.
Awesome. Thank you. Um, well, we'll miss you. Thanks for letting us know about Brian. Well, we look forward to meeting him. And then Susie, thanks for coming on. Did you have any questions or concerns? We kind of talked about community stuff already, but I wanted to give you a chance to speak to anything if you have anything.
Yeah, sorry for being tardy. What was the ordinance that passed on the oversized vehicles?
So there was already previously it was an oversized vehicle ordinance where basically there's like certain measurements for like basically a lot of the RVs that are down there on Quarantina, they meet the requirements for the oversized vehicle ordinance. However, the way that the ordinance was written was the first time we would contact them for being parked in violation of that ordinance, we would offer them information regarding the safe parking program and other resources and services, and try to get them connected with that, and then warn them about the ordinance. And then from that point on, they have basically a couple hours to move. And if they move within 1,000 feet, we would have to give them another warning. So there's really no citation that would take effect unless they didn't move. Whereas now the new ordinance has changed the ongoing warnings where you're basically just following around. I mean, we didn't really do that. We would try to address it as we could, but we didn't have the resource to necessarily follow, every 3 hours or whatever when they would move. So now with this new ordinance, it really limits the warnings. So we'll be able to, I guess, enforce a little bit more. The hope is that it encourages them to actually get into the safe parking program so that we don't have to, I guess, enforce, if that makes sense. But yeah, there were some changes that gave more authority, in other words.
Thanks for explaining that. Did she fall off mic? Probably. Yeah, looks like it. Um, okay, that's great. I don't think I'm familiar with Alan Bleeker. Are you a service provider or community member? Okay, maybe they are away. So if there's anything else, we can move on to having the
Got a quick
community.
one?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's community time now?
yeah.
Okay, thanks, Kai.
Hmm.
Alan is a business owner in the community.
Thank you.
Would you guys be kind enough to run by Milpas between Montecito and Gutierrez? We've got some folks that have been persistently and consistently camping out right in front on the wall on in front of CVS. And I thank you for coming by and fixing. I sent a note, and we had like 5 individuals. They started piling up, so now it's down to 2.
Yeah, we can
So,
definitely go out there later today.
Super appreciate that. Thank you.
Of
yeah,
course.
And
we've
yeah,
definitely seen that as well, Natasha. It's a tricky one because it doesn't become an encampment just because someone's laying there sleeping necessarily. They have to like have a tent or a structure. There's kind of this like criteria they have to meet where we can then post it and organize a cleanup. We can talk to them about their belongings, when it's excessive and over expanding, but just someone sleeping on the sidewalk is kind of limited for us.
what happened with our sit lie ordinance on Milpas?
That's something I think Lieutenant Beltran could speak to because that's where PD would be able to respond. That's what I was going to say is kind of the next tool there.
Yeah, they've got luggage, and they were. You're right. It's not an encampment, but it's parking long term.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
bookended by the strict definitions that they give us. But
I,
yeah,
I,
maybe
I understand.
Lieutenant Beltran can give you a little more insight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same,
and
same like,
also, and
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, and also under the bridge, there's stuff left over from people who've been sleeping under the overpass on Milpas. Thanks.
Yeah. So same like Andrew said, there's like specific criteria, which already explained that. But then as far as the sit lie ordinance goes, um, that's it. It depends on where they're at. If they're on like CVS property or something like that, it wouldn't. It's enforceable if it's on the sidewalk on Milpas Street. If it's anywhere on the offshoots of Milpas or something like that, then it's not enforceable, especially if it's on private property. We could still address certain things, but private property makes it changes things for us. But we still will try to explore anything we can to obviously address the issue. And we were actually Sebastian contacted me about the sit lie ordinance a few weeks back, and then I made sure
Mhm.
to. We have a lot of new officers, obviously, so I made sure to go around and get everybody trained up to make sure that they were aware of the ordinance and how far up Milpas it goes, etc. So that way, informed and they know how to, I guess, enforce or address that. So hopefully there's some kind of a change, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'll see when you get there. It's partly on CVS property and partly on the sidewalk, and it is on Milpas on the public side.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else while we're all together? Okay, then at this time, I'll have community members step out. Thank you so much for coming and bringing your questions and concerns. And we'll see y'all next time, which is, I think I already forgot the date. Our next scheduled meeting in a couple weeks. So we'll see you then.
Thanks for addressing our concerns and acting on them. Super appreciate it. Have a good weekend, guys.
All right. All righty. I'm just waiting for one other person. Okay, I don't think they're here, so I'm gonna... Okay. Now that we're all here, is there anything that as a team we want to address, any client specific issues? No? Okay. Well, in that case, if anything else comes up, please feel free to email me, and I can respond to anything that comes up. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you too. All right, bye.